Hello, the American College for Financial Services released its survey results from its annual literacy survey. So they survey people in the retirement age. So this for them, that is people ages 50 to 75, also people that have more than $100,000 for savings, and try to get a gauge of their financial literacy. So I decided, hey, let's look into this. Let's see exactly what this means, because 81% of the people that took the survey failed. Now it's a little bit disingenuous because there is an option there to say you don't know, and of course that counts against you in the pass fail rate. The good news, of course, is that in terms of taxes, housing, inflation, long-term care, that the respondents were pretty knowledgeable in that area. One thing they didn't generally get right was they didn't realize that 70% of us at some point in our lives are going to need some kind of help in terms of long-term care, that Medicaid pays for these expenses in a lot of cases. And then in a lot of cases, it's actually family members that end up providing the care for you. This was not known. However, in terms of kind of sustaining your income once you've retired, this was not well answered. The percent of assets that you could spend, assuming that you have a nice mix of stocks and bonds, and you want a 95% chance of having enough money to survive your life, then you want to spend about 4% of your assets annually to do that. Also, even in retirement, you want to have 25 to 60% of your assets in equities, which are considered more risky, of course, but you still want to do that. Most people didn't realize that some kind of an annuity could reduce the risk of your assets running out. So if you purchase an annuity that will last for the end of your life, it was a way of kind of adding some security to your income stream. Of course, Social Security, the more you can delay that, the better off you're going to be. And in general, if you're working kind of last minute, hey, for the last 5 years, I'm going to save more, this really isn't an effective way to secure kind of your income post-retirement. In fact, the most important thing that you can know is that the earlier you save, the better off. So if you look at Warren Buffett here, his wealth has really ballooned recently. And of course, that's going to be true with everyone. The earlier and more you save, the better off you're going to be for retirement. And these last minute crunches to save money really aren't going to have that big of an impact on your ability to spend in retirement. Life expectancy. So, life expectancy for females and males here. But the one thing that people don't quite understand is if you make it to 65, even for a male, so if you make it to 65 as a male, then you're most likely, or the average life expectancy then turns into 85. So a lot of people die young. People don't realize that. So again, in retirement, you want to have more equities than you might think. I learned this way back at the beginning of my career. We were putting together some life cycle funds. And against my advice, I got really, really conservative at retirement. So, something like 70 to 80% in cash and bonds, which of course is not the way to go. So make sure you look at your target date funds. Maybe, if you're going to retire in 2020, you want to put yourself in a 2030 or 2040 target date fund, because a lot of these funds get way too conservative in terms of your ability to have enough money to spend in retirement. Of course, there are annuity products. Lots of questions here that people didn't generally get right. So these are kind of technical in my opinion. An income annuity payout rate typically will pay you'll pay for it, kind of in this first example here, you'll pay for it, and then you'll get 6 to 7% of what you put into it kind of annually until you died. People didn't realize that this deferred variable annuity with guaranteed lifetime withdrawal benefits, that it's a type of instrument that even if the investment part of it goes to zero, it still can have a payout. I also personally talked about actuarial risk in a couple of other videos. You can check those out if you follow these links here. And this other deferred annuity income where you pay a lump sum and then it doesn't start paying out until like say age 85 or something like that. There's some research out there that these are really actually good deals. So you can spend more and until that happens, because you're going to get this annuity payout after death or after 85, and the payments are typically much higher than they are if you look at the previous example where they start paying out immediately. They're worth checking into. And again, there's some academic research that shows you might be better off doing this. Last but not least here, kind of in terms of investment considerations, a lot of questions that were missed were, kind of the interaction between bonds and interest rates. They didn't realize that, as interest rates go up, the price of bonds go down and vice versa. Didn't realize that the higher yielding bonds are going to be kind of, the junk bonds or non-investment grade bonds versus, investment grade bonds or versus treasury. That was not clear. And the question that was answered correctly the least amount of time was this one right here. Only 7% of the people got it right. I'm going to leave it to you to look at that and tell me what the right answer is. But in general, investment consideration is not well known. Finally, all I can say is educate yourself and then educate your clients. Let's get these people, let's get ourselves as an industry and ourselves as a society more on board with what the right answers are here in terms of, having enough income to retire and then having enough income to live in retirement. Thanks so much for listening.